Hi everyone, it's Michael Citron with another episode of Ask Michael Monday. This is episode 28. So a lot of real estate activity going on. So I thought about appraisals. We've been meeting a lot of appraisers. The sellers are asking us a lot about their home value and how does it relate to the market. And honestly understand your home is worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it. But certainly once we get it listed, we use the comparable sales. You need at least 3 sales in the last 6 to 12 months in a community or the surrounding areas to be used for an appraisal. So I thought it'd be good just to put a couple things on the board, kind of change it up a little bit so we can understand. So purchases and refinances need to be appraised. So understand, sometimes I get calls from clients and I offer this service to go out for a refinance. So if you are trying to get rid of your mortgage insurance on your property or you're refinancing because rates are starting to go up and it's finally time to maybe take some money out or do some things, give us a call. We'd love to help you. If you don't call an agent to come help meet the appraiser, the appraiser is going to go out there. There's no number to shoot for. They have no sales contract. They have no upgrade list and all the other things we're going to talk about. But understand, it's important that, I just went for a client of ours. We sold his house in Pine Tree Estates, a smaller property, and he was in that situation of trying to get his mortgage insurance off. I think it was $300 per month off of the monthly mortgage payment. And I was able to go over there. I knew the appraiser. He was surprised to see me for sure, but I did give him all the comparables and the properties that were able to help facilitate the sale, the upgrade list. The seller had done a lot of improvements to the property, so we were able to help him get the mortgage insurance removed. So understand, it's not just for buying a house. Also for refinancing, that we can help you, or a realtor can certainly provide that appraiser with information such as this that we're about to go over to help your property appraise and sell or refinance for the most amount of money. So first off, we talked about purchases and refinance. This is the appraisals, 6 to 12 months. I've been meeting appraisers lately and they really want to have a 6-month property sale. So they will go up to 12 months. So how to get your home appraised for the highest price. So when you're selling your property today, you have to sell it to 3 people. You have to sell it to the agent. Assume the agent's never been to Parkland or Coral Springs or wherever your home's located. They're just got their real estate license. Maybe they don't know the area well. They're working for a family member or friend. I got to help sell our property listing to that agent so that they can then sell it to the buyer and sell it to the family. So it's important to work well with the agent, and it's just assume that the agent doesn't know the area. They don't know Parkland. I always say it's a team effort to sell a house. Team effort all around. Buyers, sellers, agents, lenders, title companies, insurance agents, inspectors. It's a team effort. So understand that. You have to sell a house in today's market first to the real estate agent and just assume they know nothing. They don't know anything about the property. They don't know anything about the area. Then you'll be much more prepared to help that agent become a more informed buyer's agent for their particular client. That might be a great client. They just are working with an agent that might not know the area. So number 2, you're also going to sell it to the buyer themselves. So the buyer is coming from wherever they're coming from, local or nationally, internationally. It's best to be able to provide them with a plethora of information. Not only, I always say a buyer buys a city, a neighborhood, then the house. So if you understand that, you can market the property better and have the necessary information and answers to those questions about the city, about how great the schools are, the neighborhood is, the safety of our location, or just things in parks, recreational activities, as well as the actual neighborhood itself, what the HOA dues include, just amenity features, as well as the final part is the appraiser. That person who's getting paid hundreds of dollars that can basically dangle the keys in front of this home sale. So it's so important. So coming to the property and meeting the appraiser personally is so important for a listing agent such as ourselves to be able to help get the home appraised for as much money as possible. So those are the 3 sources that we need to sell the property to. So remember that. It's not just throwing it up on the MLS and putting up some pretty pictures. It's really detailed in getting a strategic plan of action to know who that buyer's going to purchase the property and their agent and that appraiser. It's a plan of action. So you must sell it to those people. Because the appraiser who's coming to your property, again, assume the worst and hope for the best. Assume the agent doesn't know the area. Assume the buyer never been here before. And then assume that the appraiser has not appraised the property. Might be coming from Miami, Palm Beach, west coast of Florida. I don't know. I've seen them all. I just come prepared to every appraiser like I've never met the appraiser before. I don't know if he or she has ever been in the community, because then I can provide enough information to help them do their job. I'm not influencing them to make a wrong appraisal. I'm just giving them the necessary information and there to answer all their questions and concerns when the appraisal is done. So I never let an appraiser into any of our listings without me being there personally, or a team member there personally with all our information. We call it an ammunition of goodies, a package of goodies, as well as we don't let the sellers there as well, because the appraiser will never feel comfortable talking in front of the owners. It's too much for them to deal with. So less is more when you're dealing with an appraiser. So what to include? So I've done other videos where we've actually been at the appraisal, been waiting. So if you look at some of our social media posts in the past, you can see that we've had some where I've sit there with my package of everything. So first off, before I list the property, I ask the seller to give me a list of upgrades with a nominal amount of the features and upgrades of the home that they've done in the last 4 to 5 years. Appraiser doesn't want to see more longer than that. Really, the last 4 or 5 years, I would say, are the upgrades that an appraiser is looking for that will influence the appraisal. So get a list, have them put it together. And again, you're not selling it to the appraiser first. The appraiser could be the most important part of the sales process, because that's the one that really is dangling the keys. And this is after you've sold it to the buyer's agent, sold it to the buyer, and then the appraiser ultimately comes out. So this information can also be used for the buyer as well as the agent and their families that are looking at the property. So a detailed upgrade list, a feature list with a nominal amount. Say there was $100,000 in upgrades. We just sold a house in Watercrest. The sellers weren't expecting to sell. They got a relocation. They put so much money into the property just a year ago, and we were able to put a really great upgrade list, and it really helped get a record sale for the neighborhood in that model, that Somerset model in Watercrest, if you live there, because of the features and upgrade lists that we put together. So the next part is a survey. So when you purchase a property, you get this package of title information. It's usually come in a folder when you close on the house and you're selling all your documents, you're signing all your documents. So the survey, the elevation certificate, and the floor plan are very important. Buyers are very critical in this market. They like to look at the lot. They can put a pool in, a fence, landscaping, whatever, playground in the backyard. They're looking for as much information as possible. So having a great survey elevation certificate and an updated floor plan is important. I'll tell you why it's really important to have a floor plan, besides the obvious that buyers like to see what their furnitures are measured, so they don't have to sit there and bring a measuring tape when they come to the property. It's great to provide that information. But we were recently at an appraisal in Parkland, and the appraiser and I had a difference of opinion of what the proper square footage of the property was, because the builder offered multiple models at this Somerset model in Watercrest, and they just pulled it off the website of the builder, to be honest. She came with it, and I said, well, here's the actual floor plan from the owner who purchased this property, and then I gave a copy of the floor plan from the appraisal that the bank did when the owner bought the house. And she was very happy, very receptive, and she was incorrect, and she was honest, and she admitted it, and she said, thank you so much. This house is at least 400 square feet larger, and it will help the appraisal. So thank you so much. And you know what? I left there, man, I was on cloud 9. I called my client, and I said, I got it, I did it, and they were really happy. We're closing on that house in a couple days, I believe. I think tomorrow we're closing on it. And it wouldn't have been possible if we didn't come prepared for the appraisal, and we didn't come prepared to meet the appraiser in order to get the highest value. The buyer knew the house was the correct square footage because I gave them the same information I gave the appraiser. But in the end, the bank relies on the appraisal, not the buyer's reference. So, of course, a value is based on what a buyer is willing to pay. So understand it. Buyer value is based on what a buyer is willing to pay, but it needs to be backed up by the appraisal. So it's important. So you think you have it under contract. You're so happy. You're telling your sellers to start packing and move, and then the appraisal falls apart. And then what do? Seller's going to take all their stuff out of the boxes and relist the house. They're not going to be happy with that. So make sure that when you're selling your property, you get through the inspection period and the appraisal period before you start packing. So don't pack until it appraises. So other things, comparable sales. People want to know. I look on Zillow and Trulia and all the websites out there. Sometimes they're right on the money, to be honest with you. Many times they're not. because they're just using an algorithm. They don't know what the upgrade package is in the house. They don't really know the lot size. You could be on the verge of another $1 million community and your house is in the 500s. The algorithm gets messed up. It's just math. It's a computer. And again, buyers buy houses. Buyers determine value. So as real estate specialists, we work with those buyers. We see what values are. And that's the difference when you're looking to really know what your home is worth. So the comparable sales I use, remember, an appraiser uses 3 comparable sales in the community. I look for like-as properties. I call it apples to apples. And then if I can't get the apples to apples, I get the apples to oranges. So if you have a house in, say Fox Ridge, you might have to go into the Landings or Meadow Run because there's not enough closed sales in the last 6 to 12 months. I take those comparable sales, I write all over it, notes, everything, comparing that property to the subject property, the one we're selling for our sellers. So when the appraiser looks at my notes, price per square foot, and all the other pertinent details of my notes as the expert, if they throw it in the garbage, at least I went there with excitement and with the idea that I'm going to give them all the necessary information and the insight from the local specialist that's obviously there to help them with their appraisal. Now, it's their decision in the end. They make the decision. But I always ask, are we going to be okay? Do you have everything that you need? I'm always looking to help that appraiser. And the appraisers, I've been in the business for 14 years. I see a lot of them. There's not many appraisers who come out to Parkland specifically. And I see them. When they see us, they know we come prepared. They're happy to see us. I see relief in their eyes, when I come with a package of all the information. They don't have to measure so much. They don't have to look at the survey. They don't have to go crazy with doing all this work on their own because they're verifying it off the information we're giving. So really important to have the comparable sales, the correct ones to provide. And sometimes the appraiser goes, let's compare notes. Here's the ones I got. And I'm like, well, hey, I got the 3 the same ones you have. We should be good then, Michael. And I'm like, great, awesome. It's so exciting to speak with an appraiser and get their point of view. I always ask them how the market's doing. I always ask them their feelings about what's going on. They're also very important people in our business, and I respect appraisers immensely. So the other thing that I think that people don't always think about is that these appraisers get, they're in like a rotation, a third party orders the appraisal, and they don't get a clean copy of the sales purchase agreement. So provide that. I give all a fresh copy of the sales agreement. I give them the HOA information of the fees, as well as the contact information to the homeowners association. And I always ask them, do you need any questions? Do you know what's included in the homeowners association? Because they're not going to have enough time to drive around, look at all the amenities, and get informed. They're in there and out of there. They're doing 5 or 6 appraisals a day. They certainly don't get paid what they should, and that's another reason why it's important to make the house feel comfortable. Just like you're selling it to an agent, a buyer, and then the appraiser, I make the house feel like I'm selling it to them. The lights are on, the air conditioning's on. I offer them a bottle of water for heaven's sake. I want to make sure that they're comfortable doing their most important job, which is going to be having so many lives affected if that appraiser comes in lower than the expected contract sales price that all parties have agreed on. So these are some of the details that I want you to know. We're getting into this spring, summer. We're already in the spring season, but schools, come and do here. Kids are getting out next month. And, we just sent out our squawk report. It's never too early to be looking at what, make a move in the market. So we have this amazing team closing deals every day. I'm so excited and honored to work with such passionate agents, but they're skilled agents. And these Ask Michael Monday, videos we're doing and other videos, they're not just for me. I do them to help our team, to help our clients, to help real estate professionals. There's enough business for all of us to really work together. So these are things that will help. If you're looking to sell your house, somebody looking to maybe refinance. I got a call yesterday about somebody looking to refinance. They didn't even know I could help them with doing a refinance. And I'm not getting paid. I'm just trying to help them to do something that I love doing and can help somebody with something that they might not be able to do on their own. So these are all things I want you to think about when you're thinking about selling your house. We have a detailed staging plan to put together. It takes time to really get your home ready for sale. We take amazing pictures and videos, but this is really important. Knowing the numbers, knowing how an appraisal gets from start to end, and then the idea of meeting the appraiser to make sure it gets appraised so the process of the loan can go smoothly, the closing happens, our our buyers and sellers are happy. Even buyers, they want the house to appraise. They don't want to have an issue. They offer to pay that price. They hope that it comes in at that number. So remember that. If you're thinking about what your home's worth in this market, obviously you can go on any website and get some auto-generated form. If you really want to know what an expert who knows what buyers are willing to pay for your home today, go to our website at myparklandhomevalue.com. That's myparklandhomevalue.com. You can shoot us a text. We're always online. My direct cell is 954-609-0591. We're doing a lot of great things this year. We're growing as a team. We have a full-time marketing representative now handling our videos. We're doing our vlogs, so you can get a little taste of what the behind the scenes of what we do every day for our clients. And we're up early. We're working late just for you. So I hope you guys found some insight in this information. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. And I hope you have a great night with your family. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week on another episode of Ask Michael Monday. Thank you.